Yo, what's going on, guys? This is Brent again, and this is tutorial number 12. And in this tutorial, we're going to be talking about how to combine all of our accounts into a singular one. So we have our local account, we have our Facebook account, and our Gmail account. How can we merge all those accounts together and use it in our web app? Stay tuned in this tutorial, and I'm going to show you guys how. Okay, so the first step to do this is to adjust our profile page so when a user is logged in and they don't have another account linked, that they will be able to select that account and link it to their current logged in account. So to do that, let's go ahead and go to our views and we'll edit our profile page. I've already got some HTML that I've got off scotch.io. And we're going to go over that, so I've just pasted it in here. The major changes are that it checks to see if the user.local.email is set, and if it is not, then we're going to go ahead and let's see. We're going to go ahead and show this button. So we have the if, and then if it is not else, we're going to show the connect/local button. Next, if the user.facebook.token is set, then we're going to show all of our Facebook information. Otherwise, else, we're going to show our connect.facebook button. And finally, if the user.google.token is set, then we'll show our Google information. Otherwise, we'll show our connect Google button. So you can see how this can be helpful if a user is logged in with Facebook but they haven't connected their Google account. We'll be able to set up a button so they can connect directly to Google, and we can bring in all their Google information as well. Okay, we need to adjust our routes.js folder to include the routes that we just put on our profile page. So the first route was app.get, was our Facebook route. So we'll add that, /connect/Facebook. And then it is going to be passport.authorize Facebook. And then it needs the same scope, what we're requesting from Facebook, in addition to what it sends back by default. So it doesn't send email by default, so we need to request that. And that will be that one. Next, we need to add our Google one. So app.get connect, actually, /Google. And then same thing here, passport.authorize Google. And then Google requires that we bring in a scope that is an array. So scope, and then it takes in profile. We need the profile from Google, and we also need an email. So that is that one. Now let's set up our local routes. Okay, next we're going to need two local routes, one for the get and one for the post. So let's go ahead and create those now. app.get /connect local, and then a function request response, and that is res.render a page we haven't quite created yet. It's going to be connect local.ejs, and then just in case there's an error message, it'll be message request.flash. This brings in our flash messages for error messages, and then it'll be, what is the, it's login, no, sign up message. And that will be that one. Okay, next let's do our post. So app.post /connect/local, and then this one's gonna have passport.authorize, and it'll be the local sign up. And then the next part will be our success and failure redirects. So success redirect is going to redirect us to our profile page, and then failure redirect is going to redirect us to connect/local so we can attempt again. And then failure flash, that will set that to true, so we make sure we send our failure messages. And those are our routes. Okay, so let's go ahead and create our connect to local.ejs file. So we'll create a new one. Save that as connect local.ejs. Now I've copied and pasted some boilerplate, or I guess just template code for HTML. This is very similar to our login and sign up forms that we already have. It's just a little bit different in the wording. Add a local account, and then of course it's the form is posting to connect.local instead of a different one. So take a second to pause this video and copy this down if you need it. Otherwise, the source will be down in a link below. Okay, let's take a look at what we got so far. Localhost 8080, check that out. Now, we got 4 buttons: a local login, local sign up, Facebook, and Google. Let's log in with Facebook, and now you'll see our link and our unlink buttons, our connect local buttons, and connect Google buttons. Now let's click on connect Google. Everything changes, okay, because the user is only getting the Google information right now because they're all separated. We haven't created our strategies to combine them all yet. If we connect on connect to local and we add an account, then, well, we can't, oh wow, we need to adjust that. So let's see what's going on there. Okay, the error here is I've used authorized instead of authenticate. So let me do authenticate here and save that. And then let's talk about what authorize is and why we use it rather than authenticate in some situations. Okay, so authenticate is when a user is first logging in. So basically brand new to the server and is logging in for the first time. Authorize means the user is already logged in and we're associating like a third-party account with their current account. Say you're logged in as local user and you want to add your Facebook account. Well, you can authorize Facebook you can use authorize to merge in that Facebook account or that Google account. But for the local, you need to go ahead and authenticate it first and then bring in everything else. With that said, here's some information on authorized at passport.js.org. Basically, it's saying this will occur when a user is already authenticated with the application, and any subsequent third-party accounts merely need to be authorized and associated with the user. So here's some information about that if you want to go ahead and check it out. But in this case, we're just going to do passport.authenticate. And then let's go back and see if we can post to our local host. So add a new local account. Let's just make something random up. Add local, and now we can add that local. And then of course we can run around here and connect, but still they haven't merged yet. So let's do that. Okay, so let's navigate to our passport.js file and get these accounts merged. Now we're going to start with our Facebook strategy, and we're going to think about this for a second because we're going to use the same strategy to authenticate users and to authorize users. Now, again, authenticate is that they're coming to our server and logging in for the first time with their Facebook account. Authorize means they already have an account with us. We're trying to get access to some other account, like a Facebook account, a Google account, or maybe just add another local account. So we have 2 cases, and we'll comment these out. User is not logged in yet, and user is logged in already and needs to be merged. Okay, so how do we check to see if the user is logged in? Well, the first thing I think of is that when we log in, we have a request.user object. So if they don't have that object in request.user, then they're not logged in yet. So that's a good way to tell if they're logged in or not. So we can do right here, if request.user So let's say if there's no request.user, then they're not logged in yet. Otherwise, they are logged in. So how do we get request.user in here? If you remember right, we can do request or pass request to callback, and we can set that true. So that gives us access to the request object here, and it makes it the first parameter in our function. So now let's go ahead and fill in these two cases. Okay, so the first case is the user is not logged in, so they're authenticating for the first time. Well, we already have that code. So let's just go ahead and drag and drop that in here. That's if the user, wow, this is way untabbed, right? Let's do something like that. There we go. This is if the user is not logged in yet. So we need to find them by the ID, you know. If there's an error, we're going to return the error. If there's the user, we're going to return the user in the database already. They just haven't logged in yet, is what I'm saying. And then otherwise, create the user in our database. Okay, so otherwise, they're already logged in. There's a request.user object. They're already logged in. So let's create a new var and call them user. And we're going to make that equal to request.user that has all of our already logged in information. So if they're logged in with Facebook already, then, or say they're logged in with Google, then all their Google information is already in the request.user object. So we're just going to copy all that. Then we're going to do user.facebook.id equals profile.id. User.facebook.token equals token. User.facebook.name equals profile. What was it? Name dot given name. And then profile dot name dot family name. And the last option was the email, I think. Facebook.email equals profile.emails. It's the first email and the value of that. So now we're just adding our Facebook information to the already request.user object. Now we just need to save that. User.save function error, and then if error, throw it, and otherwise return done and no error and the user. So let's save that and we'll test this part. Okay, so I did have one error here, and it's access token instead of right here, instead of what I just wrote as token, access token up here. Anyway, so save that. Google Plus will log in first, and then we're going to attempt to connect Facebook with our Google Plus account. So we'll click this, and there you have it. So that is step one of merging. Now we need to do the same for Google and our Google strategy, and we need to do the same for our local strategy. So let's do Google next. So basically the exact same deal with our Google strategy down here. If there's no request.user, that means that they're not logged in. So we can basically just pull this, do the exact same thing as we normally would. And all these need to be tabbed over. Otherwise, then now we need to create a new user, or user, and get the request.user object. And then we can say, we can just grab all this again, so we don't have to retype it. Let's see. And then we can control click to do this. Actually, oops. Control click. One more time. Oh boy. Wow, I'm just not doing it right. Guys, I'm just not doing it right. Some days you just don't have it. Okay. I just am not in the zone here. Okay. User. Wow, we could have done that already, right? Okay, so here now we just need to save this. So user.save function error if error throw error otherwise return to our callback no error and our user. So let's just double check all that. The IDs, the profile, access token, display name. Everything should be good for good measure, and save that, and let's test that now. And of course, when I saved it, it crashed because I didn't pass our request object to it. So pass request a callback, set that to true, and then that makes this one our first object here. Now let's save it and see if NodeMon restarts successfully, which it does. So let's go to localhost 8080. We'll log in with Facebook first this time and try to connect to Google. And wow, it works that direction too. So finally, all we have left to do is our local merging, and so let's do that now. Okay, we're gonna do the sign up strategy just a little bit different than we did below. When we're at our sign up page or their connect page, they're gonna enter their username and password. Well, we want to make sure that that account is not already in our database. So in this case, we're actually gonna put our check to see if they're logged in inside the function for user.find1 to compare usernames. So if there's an error, it's going to return the error. If there's already a user with that information in our database, then we're not going to let them connect that account. At least for now. This is just testing. You can adjust the code the way it suits your app. But for our case, we're not going to let that happen. And then otherwise, we need to check to see if they are already logged in. So if there's a request.user, if there's not a request, if they're not logged in, then these are a brand new authentication. And so we want to check to see, get their username and email and add it to our database. Otherwise, they are logged in and they are trying to merge a local account into their current Facebook account. So let's do user dot, it's var user equals request dot user, and then it's going to be, we'll just copy this info here, and this time let's see if I can click right. There we go. And so now we're taking the user, the request user, and adding their current new information local.username. So we'll do user.save and function error, and let's do if error, throw it. Oh wow. What am I doing? Throw error, and otherwise return done with no error and our user. So let's save that and take 1 sec to look at the code. Okay, so we also want to make sure that this is user, not new user. So we'll save that, and then let's log in with Facebook. And let's connect our Google Plus account. And then let's create a local account here. So Brunarelli, ABC123, add the local account. And there you have it. So we can log out and log in with Google Plus. All of our accounts are still linked. Log out and Facebook. All of our accounts are still linked. And let's do a local login. Brunarelli@gmail.com, ABC123. and all of our accounts are still linked. Let's take a quick look at our database here. And see what it looks like. It's got just like our model. It has a Facebook, a Google, and a local section, and each one is populated with our information, hash passwords, our tokens, and all that information. So let's that's pretty much it for this tutorial. In the next one, we'll talk about unlinking accounts if a user wants to unlink these accounts. And but before we go, I just want to show you all some quick documents. Okay, so what we did works and it's all functional. However, if you read the passport.js's authorized section, you'll notice that basically they actually use a separate strategy rather than merging the two into one. And I think that works a little bit better because in our strategy, when we use authorize, the callback is actually using the same callback. So it's actually authenticating, it's using authenticate anyways. So we never get access to what authorize brings us, which is request.account, which is the new account rather, and it keeps separate the user, the current logged in account. So the current logged in account never changes, and it just actually brings in a new section called request.account with all the information from if you're trying to connect Facebook or Google or whatever. So then you can merge the two basically. But our way works. If you want some more information, go ahead and read this website. And thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I know this has been a little bit of a longer video, but hopefully you got all the information you need. Check me out on the next tutorial, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.